Alright, welcome back to another fun-filled episode of life on a sailing boat in England during the winter in the midst of a pandemic. Now, I know it doesn't sound like the most fun in the world ever, but Carly and I are good. We're alright actually. In the grand scheme of things, plenty of people have got it much worse off. It's January 2021, we are in our third national lockdown, and some of you are probably wondering why I'm out on the boat doing spot fishing. Well, firstly, trying to catch some dinner, somewhat unsuccessfully actually, and secondly, we're allowed up to 1 hour a day to exercise, and so I like to use the opportunity to get out on the water and say at least attempt to catch some fish. But it gives me a chance to talk to you guys now anyway, let you know what we've been up to and bring you back up to speed. Now, you've probably noticed in the little intro to this shot of the video that it looks like a very different day, and it is. I was hoping it wouldn't look that way, but when I cunningly went out on the most beautiful sunny winter's day and did a spot of fishing and recorded, I thought, all of this, I cleverly left the camera on 120 frames per second, so it's super slow motion, and it didn't even have sound because this camera doesn't film the sound in slow motion. So I thought, oh, I'll just go and repeat the footage on a sunny day. We haven't had a sunny day yet, or since. Basically, all it's done is rain. So here we are. It's not raining, so which means I can get the camera out without it getting broken. Let's bring you up to speed. So, living on the boat during the winter has thrown up a few things that we've had to think about. One of the first ones, really, is the fact that we had all sorts of condensation issues, and even after we installed the diesel heater, that helped a lot, even if we cracked the hatches and had some airflow, but we were still getting condensation, and with condensation there's damp and mould, and it wasn't the best ever. So Carly decided to put her head to it and try and tackle it. So let's go and see what she's done here and bring you up to speed there. Apologies for the state of the boat, but basically everything from that's forward clothes-wise has had to all been pulled out, and so we've got stacks and stacks of stuff everywhere whilst Carly is insulating the boat. Got a gigantic roll of this stuff here, sticky backed, and anyway, I'll show you in here. All right.
Hey.
Hello. So this is the problem, not the clean cupboard, but where the walls reach the outside of the boat. We've got all sorts of condensation and moisture building up.
There is a lot of water in there,
wet, yeah.
which was just our clothes were absorbing and then building loads of black mould.
Yeah, never good. And so we've done a few tests. So the cupboard next door, I think this is the one we've gone. You've put the most insulation in, isn't it, in terms of layers?
Here.
And this is the one you went overkill on. Or
This
what we
one,
thought was overkill.
I just bought a bunch of stuff, and I just thought I'd layer it up with loads. So I bought this. I think it's garage door insulation,
Okay.
which is like a bubble wrap.
Uh-huh.
And I put that in first, and then put the foam on top. And there is no moisture in there at all, and it's made a huge difference in comparison.
Okay, let's have a look at that.
And my little these little
corks, a good
corks.
measure, and that.
I'll show you what they are. If you go in here, are these screws which also are building lots of moisture on them.
Okay, and so the moral of the story is we need to buy a lot more corked wine.
Yeah, no more screw tap. We're going to need to buy more wine.
For the good of the boat.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, it's essential.
Yeah, okay, fine. That's if I have to.
But then once all this is done, like, because you can see in here, I haven't cleaned this out, all the black mould. Can you see all that? I mean, here's an example. Here's our hot water bottle. That is just revolting.
Yeah.
So
that's not good. I'm
using this Sillet Bang black mould remover, which is super easy. Spray it on, leave it 10 minutes, wipe it off, done. That's the project, and then we can empty out all the clothes back into here and have our space
That'll be good.
back.
That'll be good because it's like a bomb scarf.
I know.
Whenever you do any sort of job whatsoever on a boat, it's just like.
She goes everywhere. Yeah. So that's my project.
Another project that's going on forward is the bed. Now, our jobs lists are split into high priority and luxury. And Carly and I seem to have a bit of a back and forth about what constitutes as a priority and a high priority and luxury. Now, for the last year, Carly's been very upset sleeping on this bed. She says it's really uncomfortable, she can't sleep very well, and she can be a bit of a grumpy bum if she's not had a good night's sleep. So I was starting to think this is becoming a high priority. I wasn't quite there yet. But thanks to the amazing generosity of a one Mr. X, thank you sir, again, they made a really lovely donation that made this possible. Just because when we're allocating funds, it's the case of which is more important, a radar system or a new mattress. And I say, depending on who you ask, what time of the day, that answer may swing. But my heart and head was kind of perhaps more radar. This was fine for me, is what I'm trying to say. But what exactly was the issue with the bed?
Well, there's a few things that are wrong with this bed.
Do you want to show us?
I will show
us
you what's wrong with this bed. Okay. Well, let's go back to the original mattress that we got with the boat for this bed, which was just this bit here.
Okay.
Which, look at that. My spine was basically on this wood.
You've got a very strong grip by the looks of it. That's what it is. How you can...
No, it's just
really
so
impressive.
thin. And then when we made the utility room aft, so then we gained pieces of extra mattress. I'll just undo this because this is what holds it in place, so falling off.
So you're saying it's not quite fitted exactly as it should be. It's a little off size, but it seems like a first world problem still. That's all I'm saying.
No, hang on, hear me out. Let's get rid of all this. Okay. If we remove the sheet, you'll also see that...
I mean, granted, this is an area of the bed that I don't often see, so you're...
No, it's all ripped. I mean, yes, some people say just recover it, but here we go. We're going to get to it.
Some people being me, but okay. Yeah.
Let's get rid of this.
All right. Okay.
And then we have, these are the pieces of mattress, which were, and an old sock, which were what were the aft berth mattresses. But as you can see, it doesn't quite fit, so I've stuffed the sides. That's
and very good job you've done too. I think I don't think you should be so hard on yourself.
Right, it's still not comfy.
Okay.
And then back here, if you come with me over here a second, if we take this up, look at the amount of moisture that is building. I don't know if you can see that.
I can see it on your hands.
Soggy, it's disgusting. So this, we're gonna have like the anti-condensation mat or something underneath.
I don't know, you've done all the homework into it.
Well, this is what Shipshape, who I got in contact with, have recommended and are going to help us out with. So it will fit, it won't fall off, it will be comfy, and it won't create a soggy mess down the side of where I sleep.
Okay. And if I'm understanding correctly, I believe Shipshape are a company that have you've reached out to each other, haven't you? You've had a little back and forth for a couple of months,
yes.
And it was we thought, again, it's not an inexpensive thing to have a custom made, bespoke, handmade mattress. And it was, again, trying to justify that, and I struggled with it. And then, as I say, we had the super kind generosity of someone who wants to remain nameless, that has said, look, just do it, and helped us out. So that's really lovely. And Shipshape at the same time, again, there's a pandemic going on, so they can't easily come out and measure up and everything. And they've developed a really easy stenciling kit. Is that?
Apparently so. I haven't unwrapped it there. It's just here.
So they sent this in the post. This is real time happening.
Right, space is cleared.
So we got
a tennis ball. Essential for templating a mattress. Oh, bless.
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, that's for Hank.
Something for Hank.
Yeah, it's amazing. Ah! I know, I was worried that we were squashing something important. Okay, so what you will actually get is this. Some templating material. Have a look. Let's see what we've got.
Okay, now one of the other situations we found living on the boat in the winter is it's cold and it rains an awful lot here, and so you're inside the boat, which is lovely, but all of our windows are quite high up and you can't see out of them unless you're stood up, maybe doing the washing up or something. And you know what Carly's like, she likes to do all the washing up, I never get her looking. So you don't really get to look out onto the water, and that really was one of the draws of buying a boat, is just to be able to eat your breakfast and drink a coffee or whatever, have a beer, a glass of wine, and look out onto the water. And we just haven't been. And some people could definitely make a compelling argument that maybe you could put a jacket on and go sit in the cockpit. But again, it's cold and wet and it's not the best ever. But this is something we wanted to tackle also after living and experiencing it full time. So this is where we're at with that. We're having a full enclosure made, which we're super excited about. It all looks a bit hobo-y right now, but it's going to look great. I'm sure of it. Let's go check it out. How you getting on?
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Anyone?
Used one as well.
But no. Anyone who's interested, obviously, in how this goes, you'll see in a video or two's time. I don't know. In a video, how long do you think it'll be before it's?
I was hoping by next Friday. I'm still
pressure.
hoping for
No
next Friday.
Okay,
But definitely before Carly's birthday.
Definitely before Carly's
Yeah.
birthday.
I know it's in sometime in February. I'm hoping it's not the
He's
1st of
sometime in February. Anyway, so yeah, in the next couple of videos' time, you'll get to see for yourself. And if you like what you see, then be sure to check out Ames's website, which is
shoreham-canvas.co.uk, or even better than that, just go straight to Instagram, because that's that's more up to date, and yeah.
Which is
We'll pop the links with both of them right at the top of the comment section. So go check them out, go say hello, and let them know we sent you. And yeah, if you want some canvas work done, then you know what to do. Okay, and lastly, and certainly not least, you're probably thinking, oh, Dominic, are you playing any role in this work that's going on the boat whatsoever? And yes, I am. I am working full time. So I just want to throw that caveat in there before everyone thinks I'm not pulling my weight on the boat. But since we've been put into this new lockdown and we do have a lot more spare time on our hands, one of the areas of the boat that's been somewhat neglected is the nav station. And it's all too easy on the nav station to just close the door and not have to look at it, because inside the nav station there was an awful lot of sort of failing varnish, there was water damage, horrendous looking old wiring that sort of layered on top of each other. And the more I looked at the work that needed doing there, the more I thought, oh, that can wait. But I decided to, at the very least, spruce it up. I thought, I'm going to go in there, take off this old varnish, spruce it up, and you know, just something to give it a lift. But once I got started, it turned out that there was many layers, and what started off as quite a, well, not a small job, but a medium job has turned into something quite a lot more. But this is where I got up to with that. I forgot what a joy it was to strip varnish. This, I don't know, I just had, now we're in lockdown, I just decided that it was time to make good use of all of this spare time that we have. And this room has always been really neglected, hasn't it? Like, it's always had like water damage and stuff everywhere just from years, and you can just close the door and forget about it. So I thought I'd spruce it up, ready for when we shoot off. But it's been so long since I stripped varnish that I forgot just how much fun it was.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, like, once you start, you're committed then, unless you just want to keep closing the door on it being half finished. But that's my plan for the day.
Okey-dokey.
Scraping, as Mads would say. Glorious, glorious scraping.
You having fun then?
I'm having something.
Just you nattering away.
Migraine. I'm speaking to myself as I'm drawing it, and then I don't want to take anything apart. I want to know how it's all functioning, and then I'll start taking the wires off, measuring the wires, renewing the wires, and I'm going to put better, like these have all just got these little male and female blade connectors, but I think I'm going to get the one, I can either heat shrink them, or I can get the ones that are sort of all in one, so they're not so exposed. There's a lot of rusted wires here. Yeah.
That just looks like a spaghetti bolognese that I don't want to be eating.
But like some of these wires are damaged as well, and there's a couple of, I can't remember where it's gone now. It was probably in this mess somewhere down here. All I was going to do is just sand and varnish this room, just spruce it up a bit, and now it's turned into major heart surgery. So, all right, let me just catch you up to speed. Just get out there for a second. Right, the nav station has been a kind of voyage of discovery, like an onion. There's just, went in there to do a bit of sanding and varnish originally. That really was all it was meant to be. And as you start peeling back the layers and revealing more and more, you realise there's the depth of the work just keeps continuing. And much like peeling the layers back of an onion, it can make you want to cry as well. But let me show you where we are. I'm not going to go in, it's not going to be like those in-depth videos showing you all the little nuances of everything we're doing. I'm going to be at broad strokes, before, after, and then just a little bit in the middle based on what we've uncovered. So let me show you quickly. Come on. back into the Indiana Jones-esque snake pit. And as intimidating and menacing as that does still look, having spent the best part of 5 hours tracing everything and figuring out what it all does, it makes a lot more sense. A lot of these wires don't actually do anything anymore, but though a lot of them still do. So I've been drawing this kind of amateur schematic, just figuring out sort of what goes where, again, just to bring some clarity to my mind. But again, I don't need to bore you with all those details. There's just a few bits I'd like to share. So the first one is this wall here is the hull of the boat, and this condensates, and all of that condensation runs down the side, and then that builds up here, forms a body of water, electrics, exposed wires, water, humidity, bad mix. So we're going to insulate this, double insulate it actually, and then I'm going to mount some wood here, some marine ply, and then basically we're going to take this chaos here, which is a one long bus bar, negative and positive, and just really hard to even see what's going on. And what we're effectively going to do there is mount 2 different bus bars here, and then hopefully organise the wires a bit neater. A lot of these wires are going to need replacing. An awful lot of these switches have kind of been daisy chained together as well. And in some instances that has been sort of somewhat concerning looking. For example, we had a 12 volt socket that, I don't know if you can see that, does the camera pick that up? There you go. So we've got some burning there, so that wire looks like it was overpowered, overheating, and again, that's what I call a narrow escape, and I don't like all these narrow escapes. So I'm going to go through, and I think I'm going to sack off all the daisy chaining. I think I'd rather spend a little bit more time and a little bit more effort having everything individually connected and fused, and yeah, I don't want to link too much stuff up together and run the risk of overpowering these little wires. And again, it might be going a little bit over the top. I'm going to have to spend some more money on wiring, but I'd rather that and sleep easy at night rather than worrying about what's about to catch fire. Another thing is we've got an awful lot of these dead end wires here, so all around the boat really, but especially back here we've got all of these old wires. So kit that's no longer used, but for whatever reason the wires haven't been taken out. What I am going to do with this, however, not with all of them, but certainly with a couple, is I'm going to attach a little bit of mounting line to the end of this, and as I pull it through, hopefully what that will do is we'll have, once we've taken the wire out, we'll have a couple of mounting lines running up and down the length of the boat. So in future, if we need to install some new electrical components and feed the wires back up, that will give us a feeder line. So again, I won't go mad, I'm not going to do it for everyone, but once we've got 1 or 2 feeder lines running up and down the boat, then I think yeah, I'll be good just to pull the rest of these dead end wires out. And yeah, so some bits to buy, ASAP supplies. I've been looking online for some new bus bars, some new wiring, some new connectors, and yeah, the varnishing, I guess we'll just have to wait until we've got all that done. Part of the joys of owning a boat that's the best part of 40 years old, I suppose, isn't it? Right, on to the next. I also just want to say a huge thank you to you guys, because you broke the internet. Maybe not the internet, but you broke the shop. Once we mentioned the dog leads and the collars that Carly's been making out of upcycled rigging, and we popped the links in the description, in a matter of hours the shop was completely sold out, which was amazing. But Carly's just been badgering away and trying to sort of restock the shop as quick as she can, and she's getting orders left, right and centre, which is lovely. It's really amazing actually. And so yeah, just really wanted to say thank you. And if you went to the shop and it looked like all the shelves were empty, well they were. I think you can follow the shop, it's like an Etsy shop. You can follow it and get up to speed as and when Carly uploads new leads, new collars, and she is doing so every single day. So if you're interested in those, keep an eye on the shop. I'll pop the link in the description, and yeah, it's really lovely to think these leads are going out to people, and the feedback's been amazing too. And that's it from us this week. As I said, we've got a few more bits and pieces that I'm putting together. Our DIY solar installation video I am finally putting together. It's just it's an area that I have no expertise in, so to say that I was nervous doing it would be an understatement, and to say that I'd be nervous putting a video together, because it's definitely not a how-to video. I'm just going to share what I did as a completely non-electrical DIY guy. I've never even put a plug on an appliance before, and then that's my level of skill. It's low, but I did manage to get some solar panels on the boat and some charge controllers and some batteries, and it all seems to work. And I'm just going to share what I did, and more likely than anything, you guys will probably say, oh, you could have done this better, or that'll probably help, or this, you might want to think about this, and that'll be super too. But I'll show you where I got the bits from, how I got there, how I figured out how to do it, you know, the people that helped me and may help you, and the resources I went to, and all that stuff too. Hopefully there's some light at the end of the tunnel as well, and you know, we can all get our adventures up and running again soon. Who knows when that will be, but as I say, we've been very busy behind the scenes doing the boat up, getting some chores done, working, squirreling away some money, trying to be a bit frugal, because who knows what the future holds at the moment. These are crazy times, and just hope you guys are all keeping well. We love the support and the feedback, and it's really cool. It's really, really cool. So thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.